Hi, welcome to my channel, Takoyaki Tarot. Today is Tuesday, August 26, 2025. So before I get started, I want to remind anyone that's watching that these messages are not going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. If they resonate with you and gives you clarity, great. If it does not, then don't force it to be your story. Alright, let me see. I guess I'm gonna start pulling cards, so I'll go from there. It's still hot. It's funny because like I'm thirsty, but I don't want to drink the water anymore. I want the coffee. Hi. Hold on. Alright. So I'm going to start off with the clarifying life situations deck, and then we'll go from there. Stop. Alright. I didn't drop anything behind. New Worlds. I actually have not seen this card. There are many more things for you to discover, so don't give up. This is a beautiful picture, too. It just fell out, so I'm just going to take it. Yeah. New World. Look at how pretty that is. You're going to be discovering a bunch of things. I know I shouldn't say like that, a bunch of stuff. But you are. You're going to be discovering a bunch of things. Alright, these are things that are within you. And these are things that you're going to be discovering, like, of the world, of people around you. Hold on. Of people around you. Sorry, my mouth got like super dry. Yeah. I also feel like for a lot of you, you're going to be going to new places. This may not be physically. For some of you, it could be, especially if you're excited and big on traveling. But you're going to be going places. I'm talking about like ascending and spiritually. Yeah. I also feel like a lot of you could be traveling, astral projection. Oh my gosh, astral projection. You guys could be traveling in the astral plane realm, okay? That is interesting. You know what I've been seeing a lot more of? Not that I haven't lately in my dreams, I've been seeing a lot more of, like, I've seen them maybe like once in a while, but like creatures. I've been seeing a lot more of those in my dreams lately. Creatures, beings, things like that. Alright, I'm still seeing humans in my dreams, okay? But I'm also seeing things in my dreams that are not exactly human. I should say like that. I feel like that's a lot broader, because I can't really pinpoint it. Right? I think it was a couple days ago. There was like this huge giant, but it wasn't really a giant. But there was something off about this. It was like dead. Not like dead, but it was like... And this is actually not the first time I've seen something like this in my dreams. It was like it had like blue skin, but it was like... you know how like in cartoons and movies, mostly cartoons obviously, right? When something is like dead or something like that, the body's like blue, like it's blue. That's what it looked like that kind of blue. That's not the first time I've seen something like that, actually, now that I think about it, in my dreams, especially on that, with that color. That actually is, so anyways, hold on, give me a second. Alright, I was trying to figure something out, but so New World, there are many more things for you to discover, so don't give up. So yeah, honestly, whatever it is that you're doing, keep doing it, because you're making waves. Whether you know it or not, you're making waves, okay? In one realm or another, you're making waves, alright? I was just seeing a sense of devotion. She's that one matchmaker from Mulan, right? And she goes, a sense of devotion. But when she does that, like all the ink, so she gets like a mustache. So I feel like this is because of your sense of devotion, right? You're very devoted to this, the Most High God, yourself, opportunities, blessings, new doors, change, healing. You're very devoted to that. So that goes a long way, obviously, right? I'm also getting the word discipline. My gosh. Okay? So, because of your sense of devotion and your sense of discipline, I feel like it's working. That's all I can say, okay? It's working. So, do with that what you will. Oh my god, that's much better. Coffee, eh? Oh my gosh. Alright. Oh man, I just bumped my elbow. You guys are gonna end up seeing something you don't want to see. And I've been bumping my elbows. This has to be like the 5th time in, I guess, since yesterday. I bumped my elbows back to back so many times yesterday. Like, what is going on? And then today. So yeah, 5 times since yesterday. That's a little concerning. And I think it's because you're making waves, obviously, duh. Why else, right? Why else would a nobody from your past go to you when this nobody said you were a nobody? Right? But all of a sudden now you're a somebody, so now they know you. Right? I feel like it's, you know? I feel like today is just going to be a very beautiful day today. Come what may, right? Come what may. Oh, I kept seeing the sigil, or a crest. It was a crest in my dream last night. I remember what it was too. So, let me read something. I'm going to get to these cards in a second. If you've seen the crest, so if you know what a crest is, you ever see like I don't know, those medieval sword and shields, and they always have like a picture or like the name of the house that they serve or whatever the case it is. So that would be like essentially like a crest. Sorry, my throat is like, that would essentially be like a crest, okay? But I seen the crest of a red flaming lion last night. And then like, but it kept flipping or switching. You know those games where like it's one image and then you flip it up and then the image changes, but it's possible because some of the images, they have things in common, so you just have to change like a detail or two, right? So it was like that. Now that I think about it, okay, so it kept flipping between 2 images: the crest of a red lion and then something else. I'll tell you after I read the red lion. So it symbolizes strength and courage, okay? Strength and courage. So I feel like you're going to have a lot of strength and courage, and you're kind of like staying put within that energy. 1001, right? You're kind of like, you ever had to stand up to somebody and you were scared? I've done it, and you may be shaken, but you're still standing, right? So there's something like that. Like, you can be, it's okay to be scared, but don't let your fear, my gosh, don't let your fear like turn you into a coward, essentially. All right, it's gonna be scary. You're not always gonna be like, I'm here, right? You're gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm here, what's going on? Like, right? It's normal. But if you keep going, right, if you, despite that fear, you're gonna keep on keeping on. That's respected. That's respected. So I feel like with your strength and courage. What did it say? Hold on. Yeah, strength and courage. So I feel like because of that, you're able to like you need to have, I feel like with devotion and ambition and goals and dreams, right? It's good to have those, but just those, you need more energy to kind of like charge it up or gear it up or kind of get the pedal to the metal kind of essential. You need other emotions to like to give it that oomph, right? So I feel like with your courage and your bravery, you're not because going for those dreams and goals and ambitions, right? You have to make a lot of sacrifices. You have to overcome many obstacles, right? You may have to set boundaries and stand up and do this and a lot of the times those, especially like I'm getting like the higher the calling, the stronger the tribulation or some shit like that. I feel like I just made that up, honestly. I think I just made that up. The stronger the calling, the higher the tribulation. I like that. I should write that down. Wow. The higher the calling, the stronger the tribulation. Give me 1 second. Well, I'm gonna write this as I talk to you, because I just got like 3 other thoughts in my head. I feel like the reason why that is for you, collective, is because God needed its soldiers. Okay, if you have this amazing strong purpose, you can't just be like, you need to, I don't know, like you needed your armor built, right? Your strength built, right? You needed to be toughened and made stronger. I love that. That is so cool. The higher the calling, the stronger the tribulation. If that does exist, then let me know, because I swear I just be saying shit. Alright, so yeah, you need to have that energy in order to like essentially power up your dreams and ambitions and all that stuff, right? Because it's great to have those dreams and it's good to have those dreams and follow those dreams, but you also need other energies to, right, power it up. Like, for example, like an art piece. You want an art piece that touches people, but you need passion for that, right? So, So the second image was, because it was flip-flopping or something like that. So it was one of a red line, and the other one was a 3-headed dragon. Right, a dragon, and this was not the fairy tale blah blah blah. No, it was more like, you ever see that oh no, that's a hydra. A hydra is different than a dragon, so whatever. Anyways, it was just really vicious and like, I don't know, angry. Okay, so I feel like you got something headed your way at the very same moment that you have a blessing, an amazing blessing headed your way. All right, essentially you have these two things with, I wanted to say within the same timeline of yours right now, right? Because it's kind of like you're in the middle and they're both headed your way. Okay, so it's something like you're in the middle and they're both headed your way, something like that. But you're gonna have a lot. You're gonna need. All right, and I feel like for a lot of you, you've been kind of like. I'm getting like Tsunade. If you don't know who Tsunade is, she's a character from Naruto. She has this diamond on her forehead where she stores a lot of chakra, right? I mean, she's been doing this forever. Just throwing little bits here and there, right? Every day, every second, whatever, right? And she only uses that when she needs, like, I'm talking, like, this woman has monster strength, alright? It's... Okay, so... I feel like you're gonna need to go deep within and, like, really, really go deep within and, you know, get more of that bravery and courage that you have, right? Because you do have something your way that you're gonna have to essentially slay the dragon, right? Because I feel like whoever this is, they want to, like, get in the way, cause issues, problems, blockages for you. And it's because whoever this dragon is, they're essentially stuck. They're trapped, right? They can't... Don't go no further. And I feel like... Oh my god, this is going to sound really messed up. 16. But it's essentially whoever this person was for you, whether you were aware of this collective. Because I feel like somebody's going to watch this shit and then they're going to get mad. Whoever you are, collective, okay? You don't, whether you know this or not, right? But in your storybook of life, this person was essentially just a pit stop for you in the book of life, whether you know this or not, all right? This was not supposed to be the end, all right? This dragon, they're not going to be your end. They weren't supposed to be your end. That's when you have so many more things to discover, so many more, in abundance. It's so many more things to discover. Okay, and I feel like this dragon is upset because you're being called to move, to go, travel. All right, so you're gonna have to, you being this red crested fiery lion, is gonna have to slay this 3-headed dragon. That I don't know what it is, but it's like they want you to stay put with them. Okay, you could be a Sagittarius, or you could have Sagittarius in your chart, but it's kind of like you literally cannot. It's just you can't. All right, a Sagittarius has a calling to move, travel, discover, to learn, right? Whether that's mentally, emotionally, physically, it's just in their nature. Okay, it's impossible. They're not like a Taurus where they're good in one spot. They're good, right? No shade to Taurus. I love Tauruses, right? But it's kind of like that. So you could be a Taurus. This could be about a Taurus. You could be a Sagittarius. This could be about a Sagittarius. Or these are just about the more you move, the more you have, essentially. You know how, like, people look at nomads and gypsies or Romanovs? I don't know the correct term, so don't, right? People who are constantly on the move, right? They look like they have nothing, right? Because they're constantly moving. How can you carry your TV and your couch and you're always moving, right? So you must not have anything. You must not have much, right? But that's the complete opposite with you. The more you move, the more you gain wisdom, knowledge, information, right? So that's why you need to constantly go, move. I'm not talking about hustle and bustle, right? Same shit, different day, grind. No. I'm talking about, like, there's just things to learn. Amazing things, terrifying things, crazy things, funny things, revelations, life-changing things, shocking, whatever it is, you need to learn. I just said need, so this is a need, all right? So you could have Sagittarius highly aspected in your chart, or you could be Sagittarius, or this is just that need for you to, like, learn and grow. And hold on, because okay, it's a need, and this is for you. Right? This is part of your purpose. Everybody might not have that calling where they have to, because it's not for them, right? So if you feel like, well, that's not how I feel, then that's probably not for you, and it's alright. Just watch my readings, or just, figure out. For some people, their calling is just to stay put, right? Stay put expand my garden from this spot right here, right? Make my home this. That's just for some people, right? Well, for other people, it's just how it is, all right? But I feel like, yeah, this dragon doesn't want you to go anywhere. But there's something very limited about the dragon. I feel like this dragon, whoever this person is, they could switch dramatically between 3 emotions or personalities, right? I feel like the 3 personalities are angry, depressed, and apathetic. So this could be someone who, like, is always in one of those energies, angry or depressed or apathetic, whether they're a karmic feminine or a karmic masculine, or those are just like the 3 energies that they are like known for, or they like present the most. I don't know, but I feel like they have like 3 main emotions or 3 personalities or some shit like that. That's this red 3-headed dragon, okay? But this person is very, very angry too. I feel like a lot of their anger comes from not just angry at you because you're moving on, but angry at themselves because they can't get there. I feel like it's a lot of anger at themselves. Alright, I'm not going to get too much into that because alright, now I'm warm. Right, let me move on. I feel like I've been talking and I only pulled out 1 card. Attacking your throat chakra. They are lost and confused. Oh. Right? Whoever this 3-headed dragon is, they're lost and confused and they don't know what they're doing, and it makes them angry. And I feel like what is the biggest contributor to anger? Fear, right? And when is it that you're most afraid? When you don't know, right? So you gotta break it down. Break it down. You just gotta break these things down into layers, and it's actually very easy. It's like a phyllo dough. It's like phyllo dough, right? You just peel it. It's very easy. All right, so whoever this 3-headed dragon is, whoever this person is, they're very lost and confused. And because they're lost and confused, now they're getting afraid because they don't know where they're going to go, what's going to happen to them, where you're going to go, what's going to happen between you and them. They don't know. They just... I feel like also, too, this person doesn't know if you're willing to stay or wait for them. They have a lot of questions and they don't know the answer. And it's making them angry because they don't even know... This is like somebody who doesn't even know like how to even articulate what they're feeling, and that's no shade to them, right? But that's why it's good to know your emotions, so when it's time for you to process them and explain and express, sorry, oh my gosh, you have an understanding of what you're even talking about, right? So so that's why they're really angry, okay? Because they're lost and confused and they don't know. And that's that unknowing of what's going to happen to them in their future and your relationship. It makes them afraid, okay? So because they're angry, they're afraid, they're angry. That's really, you really got, when someone is angry, you really got to break it down into parts, right? Because the anger, believe it or not, from my perspective, from my point of view, from my belief, from my opinion, okay, I feel like anger is just a buildup of multiple things, right? And then the overall, it's like putting everything in one bag, and that bag makes everything easy to carry, right? Think of anger like a bag. You go in shopping, you get everything that you are feeling, sadness, rejection, betrayal, neglect, hurt, all those things, right? Put it in the same bag. That bag is easy to carry. You call that bag anger. That's what you're Oh, that person's just angry. That person's actually probably just really sad, scared, alone, afraid, neglected, betrayed, hurt, suffering, right? But it's just easy to mask it as anger. So I feel like this is why they're most angry, because they're lost and confused about themselves, their future, your relationship with them. All right, why they're putting that onto you? Because that sounds like you're just trying to put that burden on me, my friend. Like, all right, this could be someone who's codependent. Oh, maybe that's why. That's why. Yeah, that's why. Thank you, Spirit, Most High God. That's why this person is codependent. You ever, if you have children, right, you ever, or like even pets maybe too, but you ever get ready to go out and your children can sense that they see that, oh, I want to go. Or if you're getting ready to put your shoes on and your dog sees that and they start doing their little happy circle dances and wagging their tail and waiting by the door, right? This person can sense that. They sense that you're leaving. Also, we have attacking your throat chakra, right? I forgot, didn't even say this card. Attacking your throat chakra. So this person doesn't want you to voice your reasons as to why you're leaving, or they don't want you to, oh, that's not even it. They don't want you to talk about it. They don't even want you to say, I'm leaving, or it's time, or we have to, or I have to, or you have. They don't want you to say that. Don't even talk about it. Because if you don't talk about it, it doesn't exist. It's not going to happen. Right? It's kind of like don't ask, don't tell. That's what that is. That's what that is. So you may be feeling one way and this person can sense that. So they could be trying to do some sort of magic to get you to not even talk about it. Don't talk about it. Like, I know you want to leave, right? I can sense that. But as long as you don't say anything, who's leaving? What's going to happen? I don't know. Nothing. We're fine. It's that energy. That's the magic. Because if you don't talk about it, it doesn't exist. But I feel like that's backfiring on this person because now they don't know even more. Listen. Alright, attacking your throat chakra, right? When your throat chakra is blocked, you're shy, arrogant, anxious, lying, lack of creativity. So I feel like with the anxious and that lying, right, you can't speak what you want to say, which is what you're feeling, which is, I want to leave. I want to go. I want to travel. I want to do this. I want to study abroad. I want to get this job. I want to get this home. I want to get this relationship. I want to get this friend. I want to, whatever the case it is. Somebody knows you're about to voice something that's going to change a dynamic, an environment, a pace, P-A-C-E, a belief, a direction, okay? A pace of the direction. It's going to change that. Just because you're manifesting how you feel, essentially, okay? But if you're not saying it, oh no, I don't have anything to talk about. I'm good. I'm fine. Everything is fine. I'm okay. No, I'm okay. Yeah, everything. I don't have to. Huh? No. It's fine. A lot of that energy. All right. And that's a way for them to block your throat chakra, right? Because if you can't voice how you're feeling, then those feelings don't exist. They don't. What feelings? You never told me anything. She never said anything. He never said anything. Bull, right? It's that. That's magic. So when your throat chakra is unblocked, you're able to communicate, express yourself, be of service to yourself, to humanity, and tell your truths. Right? Someone's really trying really, really hard to get you to not say something, because if you don't say it, it doesn't exist. And if it doesn't exist, everything's cool. Everything's fine. We're good. Right? That's how that works. Listen, they haven't woken up. So whoever this person is, they haven't woken up, which is why they're still operating off of a codependent relationship or dynamic or belief. Or this person could even, this may not even be like something physical where you live in the same home or work in the same job or in the same community, right? This could be like a parent who lives down the street or who lives a couple of states away or who lives another country, whatever. This could also be emotional codependence, right? They emotionally rely on you, but you're like, I gotta go. All right, so I feel like this person has, I feel like for a lot of you, this person has an emotional hook on you. All right, for others of you, this person had an emotional hook on you. All right, you're gonna have to, for those of you that still has this, you're gonna have to essentially hook that, like just take the hook out spiritually or whatever, or imagine you doing that, and you're gonna see like the hook and the string go back to, you know, it's just gonna go back to that person. You know how like when you're fishing, right, and the hook doesn't catch on anything or whatever, you have to reel it back in. It's just unhook it from you and then watch it get reeled back in from whoever's doing this. I don't know. Proverbs 23:9, right? But you have to use your imagination for that, right? You have to. I'm literally seeing someone, right, or like a string that's like glowing white and like a gray metal hook on the end of it. But it's like I'm hearing the sound. It's like, you know how like when something is like, I don't know, like leather or a string is being wrapped up really fast or pulled really fast, and it's making that like that sliding sound on the ground or whatever. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, Proverbs 23:9. Do not speak in the hearing of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of your words. So, yeah, this person doesn't want to hear it. They don't want to hear what you have to say. They don't want to hear it, right? And it's crazy because I'm kind of getting the feeling that even if you do say it, they're not going to believe it, or they're not going to take you serious, or they're not going to listen to it. They don't care about that. You want to leave? I don't think so. I can hear that. No, you don't. No, you don't. This person would. This is also giving me someone who's going to try to gaslight you and make you think you don't want to leave when it's like, my friend, I literally just said I want to go. You really don't want to go. You're just lost. So it's given that energy. They don't want to hear it. They don't care about it. They're not gonna listen. They're not gonna take it serious, right? This person could be thinking that you're just saying that to egg them on, right? Listen, no matter what you say, they're not gonna believe it because they haven't woken up, right? Which is the saddest thing because you're the one that's lost and confused. How am I the problem? Right? I'm not. Of all the things that's confusing, I feel like that would be it. Like you're lost and confused and you're mad. You gotta pick a struggle. You're too much. You got too much going on. You gotta pick a struggle, alright? Because you got too much. Not you, collective. This person. These dragons. These demonic serpents. That's so funny. Because I'm calling them dragons and it says less than human. So these are people that either lost their humanity or are on the way of losing their humanity. Alright? And these are people that might want to guilt trip you. Oh my gosh, guilt trip you. And you gotta think about it too, because people who do that there's a reason why. It's very easy to tell who's emotionally codependent and who isn't by the way they guilt trip. Okay? Man, if I could write a book about the science of this shit, I probably would, but I don't want to write books like that. But yeah. They just need, I feel like it's sad because they're making you that very stable, reliable 333 I just seen. They're making you that very stable and reliable thing in their lives because they don't have that. They can't be that. Not forever. It's just, that's how they feel right now. They don't have that. They can't be that. There's no one else. There's no one else that is as... So in a sense, you can take it as a compliment and kind of switch that energy around. So you can take it as a compliment, right? But at the same time, it's really not. But if you take it as a compliment, you can play with that. But anyways, just kind of like pluck it out and just... Anyways, they're seeing you... They see you as the most stable and reliable person that they can think of, right? So that would be a compliment. But at the same time, it's like, dang, you can't trust no one else. You can't rely on no one else. You can't talk to no one else. Like, do you... Who, right? Like, that's a big responsibility and a burden to bear. And I feel like this is what they're doing to you. And because with the whole less than human and they haven't woken up, they don't care. They don't care. This is a very selfish and burdensome thing. Okay? And this person, they don't care. That's why they're less than human. They haven't woken up. They don't have that sense of they're not conscious of the feelings of the other sentient being. They're not. They don't care. Why do they need to care about that? Right? Why? So that's how they are. So for some of you, this could be people in your karmic family. Don't worry. Okay, they miss you, or you may see them post parties or this or that, or get-togethers or gatherings, and you may be like, oh wow, that looks like fun. But I promise you, you're not missing out on anything. That's what the card says. You're not missing out on anything. Not when it comes to your karmic family member, right? You're not, and it's okay. And yesterday's reading, I talked about it's okay to love from a distance. Love them if you must, if you want to, if you shall. That's your prerogative. Do with that what you will, right? But understand that you can love from a distance, right? So that's that. So these are people that you can't tell them. You could tell them how you feel, right? And you're not gonna get the response you want, right? You tell someone, oh, I feel this way, and blah 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 blah, and you just wasted your breath, because you're not gonna get. Oh, it's not about seeking pity. It's just not, the energy is not reciprocated, right? And if you're expecting, I feel like it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Oh, it's going away. Yeah, it's just not worth it with these people, because they're not gonna care. You're going to try and talk to them about God, and they don't look at who they are, look at where they are. They don't care about God. God is, they may know God exists or have a belief in God or whatever the case it is, but you try to tell them something. These are people that are not of your caliber, okay? And they sense that too. They sense that. And they're angry. That's another thing that adds to their anger, because they know they're not. There's a level that you are on. People can sense that. You ever walk into a room and sense, these are people that like you're I don't know, there's something inside of you that intimidates them. It may not even be your appearance or the things that you have or your money, your cars, your clothes. There's something inside of you that, I don't know, it makes their spirit stand at attention. Okay, there's something inside of you, and they sense that, right? And it makes them angry, because it's kind of like they're sensing that you're leaving, you're moving, you're going, you're traveling, you're expanding. Okay, and they have a whole bunch of things to work on. So I don't even know what the problem is, but if you really feel some type of way, deal with that with yourself, right? Like, I don't understand. People are like, they want to hold on to you so bad, but why don't you lift your feet off the ground? Why don't you try floating for once? Right? Stop trying to get me to touch my feet on the ground. Stop trying to get me to go down there. Stop trying to pull me to the ground when I want to float. I want to go. And if you want me so bad, lift your feet, right? You want to be my friend, my family, my lover, husband, wife, friend, whatever, collective. Whatever these people want to be to you. If they really want to, they need to lift their feet off the ground, right? Because you're going. You're going. Alright, let me see something. I just heard that song, Stuck in the Barnyard. P.U. Somebody dealt it, not you. And I haven't, I guess, channeled that in many, many months. Stuck in the barnyard. P.U. That's like a farting. I think the joke is about farting. Right? Somebody dealt it, not you. So, stuck in the barnyard, not you. Somebody dealt it, not you. So, you're not the one that's stuck. I'm getting... So, barnyard is kind of like animals, right? That are constantly doing things. Like, chickens lay eggs. Cows go moo. Sorry. Hold on. Listen, I make myself laugh, like, all the time. But farm animals, they always have like a job to do, right? But all that work that they do, they're always like in the same area. This could be this person, they just feel like they're doing a lot of, I don't want to say it like this, but they're doing a lot of nothing. Or that's how they feel, okay? I just feel like they should revisit their priorities and kind of go from there, instead of like trying to hang on to you. And it's crazy because they're not considerate. That's the word. Thank you. They're not considerate. Okay? They don't consider your feelings, your position, they just don't consider anything. Your finances, your life, your whether or not like they're hinging or imposing on you. They're not considerate people, okay? They don't consider the feelings and thoughts and lives of others, okay? And that's very important, right? You need to be mindful of those things. And they're not. And that's part of the reason why they haven't woken up. So. I don't know. We have Knight of Wands. Wow. Knight of Wands, upright came out. That's cool. I feel like there's something very false about this person or these people. It has something to do with gatherings. So I feel like these people or groups or whatever, when they when they get together, it's all of them, right? That's when they have like the most energy together, right? And they thrive on that, live on. So this could be people that constantly are partying, constantly having, I don't know, they're just always doing something, woohoo, right? Kind of energy. But that's because they all individually, they need that, because it gives them that spark, that it's like they're feeding off of each other. Energy vampires, essentially, right? But it's fake, because once they disperse or separate or go their own ways again in their own lives, right? They're all back to being drained and blue and same shit, different day. Hustle, bustle, hustle, bustle, hustle, bustle. So there's no real energy or spark or like inspiration or ambition or motivation for them. They don't have that. Right? These are people that like they get together and then they have all these amazing plans. Oh yeah, we're gonna go hiking and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, right? Yeah, let's do right, yeah. And then after the gathering or the party or whatever, 3 months go by and no one has made a plan. It's just crickets, right? No one has even talked about it in a group chat, or if there's a group chat. It's like that kind of energy. It's fake. It's not real. They don't take that energy out of the gathering because they can't afford it. They don't have it. They don't. So I feel like this is, and you're not, and you can see them and they can be having a great time posting on social media, their parties or get-togethers or this or that, whatever, right? And you may seem, wow, you may say, wow, that looks so fun, or wow, that looks great, or wow. But I promise you, you're not missing out on anything. That energy is fake. It's like borrowed. They're all borrowing each other's energy for that time being, and when they're gone, they're out of each other's energy. That energy doesn't exist anymore because they don't have it within them, right? So you're not missing out on anything, I promise you, when it comes to these people. You're not. All right? When it's crazy because with this Knight of Wands energy, you have real energy, real passion, real movement, right? You're the one that's really making waves. You're the one that's making real, like you say, I want to do this, and then you do it. We're gonna do that, we're gonna do it. It's like that. It's real. All right, that's real energy, and that comes from you. It's not borrowed. Where you don't have to get around a group of people and then hype yourselves up, all these amazing ideas, and then that's it. Right? You have amazing energy for pictures and this and that and this and that, and wow, they look like they're having so much fun. But outside of that, it's not. Are these the same people that were in the picture? Because they look. Where's the energy? Right? So that's why you're not missing out on anything. That's why that energy is like fake. It's not real. Okay? If you have to borrow someone's energy, that's not really real. Right? And they're not even, there's not enough to go around for them. All right? That's because they're, I don't know, if we're gonna like put a percentage to it, it's like this person has 2%, this person has 3%, this person has 1%, this person has 5%, right? and they all kind of like level up between, but once they leave, that person needs their 1% back. That person needs their 3% back. That's right. They don't have anything else. They can't. They're not like at 95% and I can give you 5%, right? And then because I can just get my 5% back just by, I don't know, 5 minutes of meditating or some shit like that. I don't know. Okay. And the crazy thing is, I feel like you have plenty, but I promise you, you don't need to share or you don't need to give with these karmic family members. This person, you don't need to, right? Because the thing is, even if you were to share with them, it's gonna go like that. Because the 1% that they have, it's like, you ever seen like negatives and positives, right? They have 1%, but they still have like, I don't know, 5,000 in negative karmic points that they still have to, right? So if you give them 5% of your energy, that's gonna just go to paying their emotional or spiritual debt. So it's not, so you're essentially gonna be paying someone else's debt? Don't do that. Alright? Don't do that. You're over here thinking that you're gonna make plans and do this and do that, and then you give them all this energy, all these ideas, all this, all that, and where's that energy now? It's gone. It's gone. On the bottom of the deck we have the Spirit of God is with you, don't give up, and behind that, whoa. Wow. So the Spirit of God is with you, don't give up. Right? We've kind of already been establishing that. So you have karmic family members that are doing black magic, so that could be the secret that they share. Thank you. That's what it is. Every time this card came out, I was kind of trying to figure out what it is, right? It could be incestuous, but it's not that. The secret is black magic. So you have karmic family members who are aware. So to them, it may not seem like black magic, because I feel like to these people, black magic would be like witches and rum hats and warts and ha-ha, right? Like that. Bubbles and cauldrons and candles and the night and the moon. They feel like that's black magic right there. That's it. But they don't realize that feeding off of each other, using each other, gossiping about each other, complaining about each other, manipulating each other, they don't see that as black magic, right? And that's another reason why they haven't woken up. When you realize, oh, gossiping is a form of witchcraft, it's dark magic, it's black magic. Gossiping, manipulating, lying, forcing, trying to dig up dirt, malintentions. I feel like I said that in Spanish and English. Negative intentions, right? Bullying, ganging up on. They don't see those things as black magic because it's not the stereotypical witchcraft and cauldrons and candles and spell book and hocus pocus. Like the movie Hocus Pocus. People, oh, that's black magic. Excuse me, that's black magic. They see that. So they don't see what they're doing as a form of black magic, right? So the card that came out is they share the same secret as Cersei and Jaime Lannister would take it to the grave. So they're all aware that they're doing something that they should not be doing. Just because it doesn't look like black magic, right? You shouldn't be gossiping, or you shouldn't be doing that, or whatever the case it is. So this could be people that they gossip and they know they gossip, but they tell other people they don't gossip, right? That could be the secret that they share. That's a form of dark magic. That's just an example, all right? But it doesn't matter because, again, the Spirit of God is with you. Don't give up. They could do whatever. They can say whatever, because at the end of the day, you're not the one that has to gather around to borrow each other's energy, look good, feel good, and then going back to same shit, different day energy. That's not you. So you're definitely not missing out on anything. I promise you, all right? There's an airplane. I've been seeing a lot of airplanes. Oh, what time is it? Oh, okay. I've been seeing a lot of airplanes rising and taking off and rising and taking off. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Okay. The Three of Wands upright. It's so funny because I've been talking about travel, discover, learning, right? This entire time, and the first card that came out is New Worlds. There are many more things for you to discover, so don't give up. And then we have the Three of Wands upright. Look, they're looking past the horizon. They're about to go. Find your inspiration to take action. You see, you have all these goals and ambitions, but you also need other emotions to back it up. It's like you have this car, but the car's not going to go anywhere unless you rev up the engine, right? So that would be the other emotions that would back up the car, that would get the car going, right? The car would be your method of getting to that ambition, that dream, okay? Preparation, planning, expansion, established force, nobility, success, openness, honesty. Interesting. We've got honesty out here twice. Honesty in the Three of Wands, and then telling truths with your throat chakra. So I feel like a lot of you too also need to be honest with yourself as well. Wow, listen. The Knight of Wands says departure, and the Three of Wands says preparation. So you guys are prepping to go. You're preparing to go. That is so exciting to me.
I do it.
Good job. Well, no. Leave it right there.
But I got it.
Fine. Go ahead. So you're prepping because you know that there's more things for you to discover, so don't give up, and you're not going to, and then you're about to go. You're about to go. This is exciting. And the only reason why you can do this is because you have courage and the bravery. You have it within you. And I feel like, you know how like in TVs and movies and shows and books, there's that moment right before the main character or whatever, they're right at the edge of the town or the border or the door or whatever, right? And they do one final look goodbye. One final look, one final wave, whatever, right? And then they turn their back and they're gone forever. I feel like that's what this Knight of Wands is doing. This Knight of Wands is this. You could be this Knight of Wands. This person could be this Knight of Wands, or someone around you could be the Knight of Wands. But I feel like you're taking one final look at your karmic family. Now, your karmic family could be blood or people that you considered very close, or you had close ties with, or relatives, or friends, neighbors, families, whatever. Right? It's a whole family of karmic people. Right? Just think of it as like you know how those jobs. They say, oh yeah, we're a big family here, right? And no one's really blood related. So just think of it like that, right? Gather up all those karmic people, friends, family, neighbors, coworkers, lovers, exes, whatever, right? That's your karmic family. That's your karmic family. So you're taking one good look, one last look. Look, you're taking, I love this. Look, you're taking one last look at your karmic family because you know in the middle, which is this, you're not missing out on anything. So this is kind of like essentially the final goodbye. It's the final countdown. Yeah, you're one last look and you're about to go. You're leaving. Yeah, baby, come here, look it. This is the Knight of Wands. Baby, come here. You have to take your hair out though. Hold on. Let me help you with this. Don't put it on that. You have to use a paper towel. Hold on, I'm sorry. Okay, don't. Go ahead, go. So yeah, this is like, it's so funny because I was watching a video yesterday and they were doing first looks, right? And first looks is usually a thing when with the bride and groom, like right before they're about to like say their I do's at the altar, they do this thing where it's like first, not everybody, right? But some couples choose to do it, where they just like look at each other. The one when the bride's looking at her husband in his suit and the husband's looking at his wife in the suit, right? First looks. And the first look of their new lives together, essentially. So I feel like now that I'm picking up on that, you're doing your final goodbyes, the last look, because you're about to start walking into something brand new, your new looks, essentially. First look of a brand new life. I love this reading. Wow. Powerful stuff here. Alright, so what else? This is nice.
Pretty?
Very pretty, my pumpkin pie. You're always pretty.
Watch.
She wet. You also have to wet your hair. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, this is like your the last wave, right? Or the last look in the mirror before you turn on the car and go. So yeah, there's something very powerful about that. Okay, but I feel like that's gonna start when you voice something, when you say something. No. That's when this is gonna start. And I'm also getting like everything and everyone is ready. It's like they've been preparing for your arrival. Kind of a sense, like, you know how like when the king or the queen or the emperor or the empress, they take a journey or they travel, whatever, like that, right? Obviously, this entire thing could have been your journey. You're about to go back home, essentially. All right. You know how like when the king or the empress or emperor or whatever, someone of nobility. I'm also getting with that 3 of Wands, right? It says nobility, right? Someone of nobility and stature and high rank. They leave. They go on a trip or whatever, right? And essentially everybody back at the castle or the mansion or whatever, they know that their king or queen or emperor or empress is about to come back. They're about to come back home, so they have to wash the linens and prepare the cabinets and fix the pantry and fluff the foyer, whatever. They're preparing for the arrival of the empress or the empress, right? So that's essentially what everybody is doing in the spiritual. They're preparing for your arrival, right? Because they know that it's happening. You're where you are right now. You're in the area of your final looks. This could take a couple minutes, right? Okay, bye, see ya, right? This, for some people, this could take weeks. For some people, this could take months. For some people, this could take like a year or 2 tops. The final looks, the last goodbyes, right? Because that's, right? It's kind of like when you know you're about to graduate high school, so you spend like the last week or like the last hour just saying bye to all your teachers and, you know, one last look at the gym, right? Things like that. But for some people, because of what they're really about to walk into, this amazing blessing, right? Their goodbyes are a little bit longer. Okay. So, but you do have this 3-headed dragon that's trying to block it. No, don't go. So you could have been, so this dragon could have been what you've been trying to say goodbye to for like the past week, month, couple years. One last look, one last, right? Wow, what a very interesting reading. I am enjoying this. I love this. This is fun. This is why I love doing tarot, because it's just the funnest thing, right? It's just, I don't know, it's just fun. Okay. Look what came out. The Empress. The Empress came out. She just fell. I feel like the way she came out, she just took her time. Like, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. So the Empress has taken her time going back home. Yeah, baby. The Empress. What do you see? What does it look like?
A princess.
A princess?
Yeah. What is that?
The Empress.
Empress? That's her?
Yeah. So, see the Empress? So you could be like a princess or a prince returning back home. Whoever you are, you have nobility. My beautiful child just said that it's a princess. So for some of you, I need that. This could be a divine feminine, or you could be a divine masculine. What do you see in the card?
A horse and a knife.
A horse and a knight. Yep, that's the knight. What is that? What do you see?
I see some sand.
Some sand?
Not sand.
Not a sand. That's the Knight of Wands.
Wow. I love it.
She said, I love it. Me too, Pumpkin. I also feel like, too, now that I'm looking at it, too, this Knight of Wands could be trying to, like, there's also someone blocking. So you're saying you're finding goodbyes, right? And someone's like, no, don't leave, no. Someone could be like getting in the way of that, not to not in a negative way, but it's like you're about to walk away and you've got a bunch of people like, don't leave, but it's kind of like a bodyguard. You know how like a bodyguard gets in the way of like the crazy fans and like whoever they're the bodyguard of? That's what I'm also getting, that this Knight of Wands is like, this Knight of Wands is like the bodyguard. So like if you're leaving, they're gonna make sure like, Collective, do you have to go? And you're like, yeah, I have to go. They're the bodyguards. They're gonna be like, okay, don't worry, I got this here, you can go. It's not like giving you permission. It's like, I'll handle this over here so that way you can do what you have to do. You do have a bodyguard, essentially. All right, a spiritual bodyguard. Or for some of you, this could be someone in the physical, but whoever this person is, I don't think you know who they are. You don't know who they are. And I feel like it's not really relevant, right? No shade, but do all artists sit down and eat with their bodyguards day, night, family gatherings and picnics? And how's your wife? And how's your great grandmother? You know, she was in the nursing home. Thanks, Beyonce. I can't believe you remembered. It's not really like that. No shade, but I really don't think all artists are really that, or celebrities or rich people, people of nobility, whatever. I really don't think they're like that kosher, that chummy with their bodyguards. They're just not, right? Like they may know their maids' names, but they're not worried about like their sister's nephew, whatever. They're just not. I'm sorry, but that's not. You got a job to you, so maybe do that. And that's just no shade, right? It's no disrespect or anything. It's just how it is. So you do have this bodyguard here that's like in the doing all that. But yes, the Empress, she came out. So you could be this Empress. My beautiful child said she looks like a princess. So you could be a princess, right? Some sort of something spiritual, right? I'm also getting that one scene in Pan's Labyrinth. Beautiful movie. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. Pan's Labyrinth. But the thing is, the movie is in Spanish, so if you don't understand Spanish, that's okay because they have English subtitles. So in the ending of the movie, Ophelia was her name. She died. Spoiler alert. Oh, I should have said that first. Whatever. So in the movie Pan's Labyrinth, spoiler alert, Ophelia dies at the ending of the movie. And it's like when she wakes up, she's being congratulated and welcomed back, and she's like in the middle of like a court, right? And there's like kings. I think her father was a king, right? So her father was there, and she took her baby brother from the one realm to the next realm because she could do that, I guess. But she was like a princess. All right, so you could be a princess or a prince or someone of nobility, right? So with the Three of Wands there, it's, you know. Anyways, so you're essentially going back home. I feel like this entire life, this entire story was a journey for you, right? And now you're done with the journey. You're done with the quest, essentially. Now you can go back home. I'm also getting in this. Sorry, I'm also getting in this one show that I saw. It's called Love Between Fairy and Devil. So the show is in Mandarin. So if you don't understand Chinese, that's okay because they have English subtitles, right? And they have this parts in the show where they're all in the heavens, right? So they're either like fairies or demons or whatever, and they're all in that realm. And there's like this whirlpool, right? And if they choose to go to like Earth, this realm, they have to pass their tribulations. That way they can go back to heaven, right? So I feel like that's what this is kind of like that. Whatever you did, whatever you're doing, you're kind of going back to like, you know, to your rightful place or your rightful path, right? Whatever. I keep picking these cards up. Why? Let me get two. One, attacking your heart chakra. Yeah, that's the emotional manipulation. These people could be emotionally codependent on you. Wow. Cover your mirrors. This person or these people, that's part of the black magic as well. Spying and gossiping and gossiping and spying. So a lot of these people, what they have in common, that secret, is they like to spy on you. That's what that is. So it's crazy because there could be stalking and spying on you, checking up your social media. If you have like any social media, if you're a content creator, if you have a job, these people are spying on you in more than one ways, and that could be something that they have in common. Oh, did you see what they posted? Oh, did you see what they said? Oh, did you see what they wore? Or did you see what they did? That could also be a form of black magic, spying and then gossiping, right? Because they're not investigators. They're not detectives, right? They're just spying on you and watching you and gossiping about you, and that's their secret. That's what they have in common. That's what they all like to do. Hold on. Yeah, so they're trying to, you can only spy so much in the physical, right? You can only do so much there. So I feel like they're also talking about other ways of trying to like watch you and do all that stupid stuff. I'm getting bored of this now. I feel like I've lost interest in this reading. Alright, attacking your heart chakra. Right? When your heart chakra is blocked, you have a lack of self-love. So if you don't really love yourself, you're going to be dependent on their need of you. I'm also getting like people-pleasing energy. Depression, loneliness, and fear. Again, these people are lost and confused, and that's causing them to be... what did I say, right? Angry. And then what did I say after that, or before that? They have like 3 main modes or personalities or emotions: anger, depression, and apathy. Like they just don't care. That's like their main 3 personalities, emotions, or the main 3 things that they kind of like present themselves as, right? Depression. That's the second thing. These are this people. But when your heart chakra is balanced, it's open. You're compassionate. You're loving, open-hearted. You're able to heal, and you can also. It says connections. All right. I put these words very vague because it allows me to play with them. But these connections, right? You're able to see which connections are good for you and which connections are not. And I feel like these are people that are in, these connections are not, there's nothing for you here with these connections, right? And because you have that sense of self-love and you know what your worth is, you know, like, I gotta go. This is your last goodbye. This is your saying your last goodbyes, your last looks. Let me see what happened. Let me see. Come here. All right. Well, obviously you don't need my help then. Hold on. What happened? All right. So this is your, I don't know, your last looks, last goodbyes, because when you turn your back, like, there are some games where once you complete a chapter or a portion or a quest, there's right, and you try to turn back your character and they can't, now that invisible wall, right, that you can't go anymore. You can't even go back just to see, like, if you can't do that. You can't. So these are, you're in this moment right now where you're that final look, that last look, because now that you're in college, you can't re-enroll into high school. It's like, you can't do that, right? So yeah. Okay, so it's getting better now because, my God, this energy, Jesus Christ. So yeah, this Empress, it's so funny because the way she came out, she's like, oh, I guess. But that's the thing about being the Emperor or the Empress. Like, when your castle, your mansion, they know that you're arriving, they're rushing to get things prepared for you. Meanwhile, the Emperor or the Empress is in their carriage just waiting. You know, how much longer? About a day and a half, miss. You're just like, okay, whatever. Right? You're not rushing. You'll get there when you get there. But they're preparing for your arrival. Right? Fluffing the pillows, dusting the paintings, I don't know. And you know there's no point in saying anything. You can't even be like, hey, so I'm leaving now. They're not going to listen. They're not going to, yeah, okay, sure. Right? There's no point in saying anything. There's no point. Mm-hmm. Like, you're gonna tell them something and they're not gonna listen? Here, baby. So, I feel like the Empress is just like, okay, well, the Empress or the Emperor, they're gonna leave when they leave. And they may have told you before and you didn't listen, you didn't want to hear, you didn't believe them, whatever the case it is. So when the Empress leaves, or when the Emperor leaves, these people are gonna be running around, where's the Emperor, where's the Empress, where's the... And they're gonna be getting mad, even more this and more that. And the Emperor told you. They told you. They were telling you for a while. This was like they were preparing to leave, right? They were telling you this so that way you can prepare for their departure because they're leaving. And you didn't want to believe them. You didn't want to hear. You didn't. That's fine. That's fine. At some point, the Emperor, the Empress, they just stopped saying because they know, like, and that's not saying like because their magic is working now or it's not. They can't get out of this magic or like they're not able to speak their truths. They are, but they just know that it's like I'm not gonna tell you because it's pointless, right? But that doesn't mean the Emperor, the Empress can't speak their truth. They're gonna tell their truth, but they also know like there are just some things that aren't worth saying in front of certain people because you just know like you can tell them all day how you feel. They're not gonna care. You know that, so you might as well not even say anything about how you feel. Right, I just seen a bunch of zeros and ones. Now it's 0 1 1 1 1 1 2, but now it's not. But whatever. Look, 5 of Swords on the fence. Movement and changes. The Empress is moving and she's making changes and making waves. She's going, and I feel like with the unexpected energy with the 5 of Swords on the fence, yeah, people aren't expecting this, which is crazy. Because I feel like the Emperor, the Empress has been saying something, but it's kind of like when you're in a conversation, you know how like when you're in a conversation with an adult and you hear a child and they're trying to talk to you and they're telling you something and you're like, okay, 1 second, or just wait, or 1 second, right? I need the card, baby. And they're saying that and not even knowing that that child is probably telling you, hey, there's a fire in the bathroom. And you guys are just ignoring it. That would be you, essentially. You, the Empress or the Emperor, would have been that child saying, hey, I'm leaving, and everyone's not taking it serious. They're just like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever, yeah, okay, 1 second, sweetie, 1 second, honey, right? And now, all of a sudden, where's the child go? Where's the Empress? Where's the Emperor? What happened? Where did they go? I told you guys I was leaving. You guys didn't want to believe me, so...
Cassie?
Nobody knows what to do. 1 second, sweetie. You see? See, it's a 2 of Wands upright. Nobody knows what to do. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going to happen. 2 of Swords energy. I'm also getting... Wait, don't do that. I'm also getting with this Libra energy. They don't know what happened to the relationships between you and them. What happened to our friendship? What happened to our relationship? What happened to our partnership? We were in a dynamic. What happened to that? They don't know. But the Empress was like, yo, I've been telling you for a minute now. Like, I'm leaving. But now they want to be all like, oh my gosh, what happened? What's going on? Where's the Emperor? Where's the Empress? Where did they go? Where are they? Now they're like questioning where you went. And meanwhile, you've been saying goodbye for years or months or days or weeks. You have been. They just weren't listening. So, it is what it is. I'm going to get 1 card, but as I split the deck. And then that's it. So... Hold on. Alright. The Moon. Wow. You're doing this in secret. But it's not really a secret, though, right? It's kind of like, I'm telling you something, you're not listening. Alright, so I'm just gonna go. It may seem like a secret. For some of you, this could be... Wow. Oh wow, the Hermit on the bottom of the deck. So the Hermit is facing the Moon. Okay, so I was right. Some of you could be doing this in the middle of the night, or could be leaving 9-9 right next to each other. Wow, that still makes 9. This is something you manifested, just leaving. You're just gonna go. But I feel like your departure is really going to put a lot of fear in people's hearts and minds and spirits, because you were the one thing that they could rely on, and now they can't. I'm also getting to, these people are going to try and look for you or find you. They can't. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. For some of you, it could be financially, because for some of you, they could be trying to like hack your account or whatever to see where you're spending your money. And if you're spending your money in a certain town or a certain place, whatever, they're going to go there, right? They're going to try and track you. So I don't know. I feel like I'm missing someone with the moon card. I feel like the moon is angry, but not at the Empress, at these people, because they keep doing something to try and block you. And I feel like that's why this bodyguard is here, right? And throughout all of this, I feel like you stayed having bravery and courage to keep doing what you want to do. I do feel like someone's trying to find you, though. They're trying to look for you. Could be a Virgo. You could be a Virgo. If there was a time where you were, you just felt like you wanted to spend more cash than using your card, there was a reason for that. Okay, not all of you, but for some of you, someone was trying to track where you spend your money, where you swipe your card, right? So if you were going for like maybe a couple days or a week or a couple months, whatever, you just wanted to use cash, there's probably a reason why for that. All right. But anyways, yeah, I feel like someone was under an illusion that you weren't going anywhere. You were gonna stay put because of you're the Empress. The Empress, she's always pregnant, right? She's seen as a woman that's pregnant around luxury things. So I feel like that's why they weren't expecting you to move, because the Empress is always like laying down or sitting in a chair or something. So no one is expecting you, the Empress, to get up and go. Like, you guys thought I was gonna stay here forever? No, I'm leaving. I'm going. Right? Pregnant and all, she's gonna go. You ever see a pregnant woman doing what she has to do? That's the Empress. She's gonna do what she has to do. She's gonna go where she wants to go. She doesn't care that she's pregnant, right? If she wants to go to Krispy Kreme at 2 a.m. to get donuts, she's gonna do that. Pregnant or not, right? And she can do that. So anyways, this was the reading. Hope it helps. Bye.